Welcome to the B&B Show, Barriers and Breakthroughs, with your host, Rochelle Payne-Baum, the Pain Whisperer, a show that talks about how to fix your pain. So get ready for the B&B Show.
Barriers and Breakthroughs. My name is Rochelle Payne-Baum, and I am called the Pain Whisperer because that's actually my middle name. That was my maiden name, and I have to deal with pain all the time. People call me, "You're such a pain in the neck," right? And we always joke about, there's no joy without pain. But actually, because I'm a physical therapist, I have treated patients for over 30 years, and most patients have some kind of pain or other. So the purpose of the Barriers and Breakthroughs show is to help give guests opportunities to share the barriers that they've had in their lives and what breakthroughs have helped get them to where they are. So there can be lots of barriers out there, especially with pain. You can have physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, financial pain if you're an entrepreneur and you try and run your own business. So I want to help people fix their pain, and so the purpose of the Barriers and Breakthroughs show is to give you excellent information from people that have been there, done that, people that are still trying, like all of us are still trying, and hopefully this information will make a difference for you to make better decisions in your life to get you in a better place than you're at right now. So, speaking of a great guest that we have, today we have Stacia Powell, who is a great friend of mine, and we met through our Business Network International group, BNI. But Stacia is just an amazing person, and she does things that I've never heard of before, so I was super excited to have her on our show today. She runs her husband's law firm, and then she is also an executive. She's the only female executive Clubhouse attendant in the whole entire NFL. So we're hoping to talk a little bit about that today. But welcome, Stacia, and it's great to have you on here. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about how long have you been doing this, a little bit about your husband's law firm, and then she also has a side business of Prove It. What's the full name?
Prove It.
Prove It.
Prove It.
And they provide ketones that help you be more fit. And so she's also really a fit mom and grandmother. And anyway, we're going to turn it over to Stacia. So tell us a little bit about everything if you want to start, however you want to start.
So I help run my husband's law firm. He's been an attorney here for 20 years in Pearland. And yes.
Awesome.
And we mainly focus on family law. So we do a lot of divorce, modifications with kids, and a lot of probate work, wills, estate planning, things like that.
Okay.
My other two jobs, I'm an independent promoter with the company Prove It. We have pure therapeutic exogenous ketones, which means you can tear a packet, pour it in some water, shake them up, and drink them without having to do the diet, which is very difficult.
Yeah.
So you can have a lot of health benefits, a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And then I'm also the visiting team Clubhouse attendant for the NFL at Reliant Stadium for the Texans. So each week we have a game here. I am with the visiting team, which is really fun because I get to experience different players, different coaches, see the behind the scenes. I get to be on the field catching balls with the kickers and the punter, and it's exciting to get to be the first woman to do that.
Wait, you have to explain a little bit more about that. So how does it actually work? You do, you throw the football to the quarterbacks, or how does that, and the kickers? How does that work?
We kind of tag team it, so it can vary. There's several of us, and so since they're kicking so far, none of us can throw quite as far as the quarterback, right? So we switch it off. So sometimes I'm in the end zone as the kicker's kicking it, and we're catching them in the net. And then you got to catch it out of the net.
Oh, okay.
And throw it back.
So when they're kicking
they're practicing their field goals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as they warm up before the game, so we're in the end zone getting those balls, and we throw them to someone else. So sometimes I might be that someone else that then gets it and gives it back to the kicker.
Okay.
So we do that at halftime before the game. So that's a lot of fun. We set up the lockers.
Oh, wow.
Some of it is not glamorous,
she's in the guys' locker room, so you probably hear like what's crazy stuff you hear, or it's probably not appropriate.
Because I'm a female and they're not expecting that, right? Which is very fun for me sometimes because I see the look on their face at first when I hold my hands up like to throw the ball to me. They kind of look crazy, like, but you're a girl. I can see it, you know.
Like, oh, can you really handle
Can you
this,
really catch that?
Yeah.
And then one of the guys I work with will throw the ball to me, and then they go, okay, and they kind of relax.
You catch the football.
Yeah. So my favorite moment was last season. Larry Fitzgerald was here, and a different wide receiver threw the ball to me as he was throwing to the other guy. And he ran by me and said, "Nice hands." And I thought, who was that? And then I saw his jersey, and I was like, oh my God, that was Larry Fitzgerald. And then when they were done with their drill, he actually came and played catch with me and talked to me. So very, very cool moment. Yeah, I think that's my best so far. So
wow,
yeah,
that's
getting to do a lot of fun, cool
impressive.
things.
Yeah. So how well do you get to know the players? Like,
you know, we stay very professional. We kind of stay out of the way. They're there to do their business, right? They're very focused and intent on what they're doing. So we try to be as invisible as we can be, just be there. Yeah, kind of anticipate what they need by the look on their face or where they're looking, what they're doing. And then, but a lot of times, like before the game especially, when you're on the field with the kickers, I've never met one that isn't friendly and will talk and, you know, talk about if they've been to the stadium or not before, or ask me about how I got my job doing it, or, you know, different things. So it's very cool.
That is really cool. Now tell us a little bit how you got the job, too.
So I have some great champions that I met. You know, it's all about opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So take advantage of all your opportunities. 90% of life is showing up. You never know what can happen.
Being in the right place at the right time.
Yes. So I actually, my best friend's husband had the job for a long time. And one day he called for something else. And I said, I thought you needed help setting up the locker room. And I was kind of kidding. And he said, you know, come with me. So I went. And I actually worked, right? I didn't just watch. I dug in. I wanted to experience it, you know. I went, yeah. And so his boss said, you know, you worked really hard. You can come back anytime you want. So for that season, I just would go the day before the game and set up the locker room. But I wasn't on the field, again, because I was female, right? They weren't expecting it. But his boss, so my boss, his name's Kevin Bull, I said one time I would love to be on the field, and you know, he could have done nothing with that, right? And I didn't expect anything to come of it. Yeah. And lucky for me, he was a champion for me, and he went to a great guy, Mike Parson, who's in charge of the Texans equipment. He's the Texans equipment manager, and asked if I could do it. And he said, sure, the Texans are all about diversity. Let her try it.
Cool.
And so they called and asked if I wanted to try, so I did.
Okay.
And I guess I passed the test because then they asked if I wanted to be hired and come on full time and do it. So this is my second full season to do it.
Like, you never know, like, what courage. That, I mean, it was fun for sure, you know, and
it's hard work. It's sweaty.
Yeah, okay,
stinky.
so now you had to, like, train, right?
Yes, I had to practice throwing the ball. You know, you don't want to lob it out there. You want to be able to spiral when you've got, you know, Dak Prescott looking at how you throw the ball or whoever it might be. Yeah. So you want to be able to throw and catch. And
spiral. So you can throw a good spiral?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So
So
cool.
it's very fun. I like it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so you have to keep strong. So,
Yes.
you know, a lot of throwing, you can hurt your rotator cuff, you know, get shoulder injuries, or you're running. I'm sure you're lifting
sprinting
weights.
down the So I do a lot of strength training throughout the week.
Cool.
And a lot of warming up, stretching, practicing. You know, I could be half those guys' mom that are on that field, really, right? Like, so, and you're twice as big as you, and they're running up and down that field. You want to make sure you don't eat it.
That's really cool. I bet they, like, kind of gravitate to you a little bit because of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
All right, hope y'all can see that, okay? Who are these people?
This is part of my team.
Before the game.
This is before the game, and they're all set up. This was for Sunday night football.
Okay.
So, you know, the big wigs are there.
That's the biggest game, right? Sunday night.
So they had all of it set up. And on this side, what we're looking at was all the cameras with all the games going on, so they could talk about all of everything that was happening. So we have a little bit of a downtime while we're waiting after the bus arrives and the team is changing into their pregame clothes and getting ready. We have some time we're waiting, and so we were entertaining ourselves a little bit here. But how many people have sat at,
I know, exactly. I mean, and how early do you have to be there?
We get there 4 hours before the game starts.
Okay. So this is you in action.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is the kicker's coach.
Oh, the coach.
So here's the kicker, right? Well, no, that's not the kicker. That's somebody else warmed up. But the kicker is back here.
Okay.
So he kicked the ball. Somebody caught it down here, threw it to me, and then I'm giving it back to him.
Okay. So you have to be good at catching, and then you throw it to him. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it gets a little crazy because the Texans kicker's kicking, the punters are kicking, so there's a lot of balls going
all over,
and then the wide receivers are running routes in between you, so you really have to be aware of a lot of things going on and
at the same time
tune out that there's 70,000 people in that place,
So I'm sure you were a little nervous. Like, what did you? I mean,
a little bit.
You still get nervous?
I still do. It's excited.
Yeah.
We'll call it excited. It's a good.
Adrenaline.
It's a fun adrenaline rush for sure. Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah. And every time I don't take it for granted. You know what I mean? You think how lucky you are to do it.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So they're just doing the flag. That's right before the game starts.
Yes. They always bring the flag out. They do the deep in the heart of Texas and all of that. And so
you don't ever go in front of the camera and you go.
No, you're really tuning it out.
I'm just kidding. Okay. Doing something kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You'd probably lose your job.
Yeah, you want to be focused. You don't want to get hit in the head with a football,
Yeah, okay, next. Let's see.
So there you're by the photos, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm watching someone's,
Yeah. Okay, so you wear gloves to catch the football.
Yes.
That helps you catch it
Yes,
better.
it does help.
Okay. Next.
For sure.
Okay. This is who?
So this is, his name's John McDowell, the third, and he came and got to help us for one of the games. So we took a picture to send to his parents, who are very good friends of ours.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm on the field, the Texans, as you can see.
On the logo.
With this beautiful gal, and she catches footballs just like a guy, right? Okay. So, they're the big normal, they're big, you know what I mean? Like
the balls, yes.
Yeah.
They're
Did
very
you ever hurt?
hard.
Yeah, they're hard.
They're not like the normal ball you're going to go buy at Academy or whatever. It's got more cush to it, you know?
Yeah.
They're definitely, an NFL ball is a lot more firm.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this is where we live during the game. So there's me, kind of, you can see. But we make sure during the game we keep the bench clear. Their cups, they're just throwing and going. They're doing that thing. So we keep everything clear for them, their towels, the Gatorade, the water going.
Yeah.
During the game.
Do most players drink Gatorade or water? I never knew, but just
I
curious.
would say more water, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. More water
Than Gatorade, yeah.
I always wondered that, do they all prefer Gatorade, or sometimes if I drink too much, it makes me kind of sick. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of sugar in that.
Yeah.
That's Larry Fitzgerald's locker. I was lucky to give me permission to take a photo, so.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So when you set up the locker, what does that mean?
So they're
cleaned it up, make sure it's all.
We do just that. We set all their cleats up, their shoes, their helmet, their everything that they're going to need for the game. Other than they bring their personal stuff in with them when they come, but we do this the day before they get there, so it's whatever the team.
So you're there
ready for
Saturday and Sunday.
Yes,
pretty much.
Saturday's a quick. It's not
just get in, get it done.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, when did you start doing Prove It? And has that really helped you with your fitness and everything?
Yes, extremely.
Yeah.
So, Prove It, I started about a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago.
Explain to everybody what it is.
Okay.
Some people have heard of they've heard of the ketogenic diet, they've heard of ketones maybe, but they really, even I didn't know a lot about how it works and stuff.
Right. So ketones is something that your body naturally makes. Your liver produces them when you are in ketosis, which is what the ketogenic diet is all about. Mm-hmm. It's eating a very high fat, medium protein, very low carb diet to put your body into ketosis. But it's very hard. Everybody's body's different, how long it takes you to get there, and what that balance is based on your body chemistry, right? And one of the sad things we're finding is a lot of people are having trouble getting into ketosis now because of all of the things in our foods. So,
like what?
all the GMOs, A lot of like how our beef is vegetarian
fructose
fed
corn
now.
syrup. Yeah,
Exactly.
corn.
You know, there's so much glucose in our food. So our two fuel sources for our body are fat or glucose. And when your body's in ketosis, you're using fat, which is our preferred state. It's our native state. We're born in ketosis. So that's how our body wants to run.
I didn't know that.
You have better mental clarity. You sleep better. You have better energy. You don't crave carbs the same. You're not as hungry as often.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really great benefits from it. But because it is so hard to do from a diet standpoint, Prove It has come out with an exogenous, which means from the outside, bioidentical, right, form of ketones. And they've just now released, they can naturally ferment them. So your body has better absorption and able to run on those ketones longer. But literally you mix them up in water and you drink them, and then you get all those great benefits without having to be so strict with the diet to make it happen.
Yeah.
Before ketones, before I started drinking them, I was, you know, like moms, we're trying to give 100% to our family, to our friends, at work, to ourselves. I mean, we're pulled 100 different ways, and I gave so much at work, but I found that at the end of the day, when I needed to be my best for my family, I was done. I was so tired all the time, and when I drank ketones, I lit up. Like, I had such great mental clarity. I had such great energy. I was like, let's go, let's hit the gym, let's do stuff. And I got, you know, I had my day, which was great, but I got my nighttime back too. You know, so many people are sitting on the couch eating chips or junk food or, you know, things that aren't good for us, and watching TV because they're tired and they just don't have the energy to enjoy their personal time. And so, you know, my family and I got our personal time back again. So
that totally improves your quality of life.
Yes,
so.
and I can tell you, I would not be able to run up and down that field if I didn't have it. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, so Prove It, ketones.
Yes.
And you drink them like just water.
You mix it in water.
I've heard you drink it without being cold. Is that right? Like if you drink it in warm temperature water, it's better?
You can do either. I like it with ice. I love it with ice.
Okay.
Shake it up a lot, and I like it
know where
really
I heard
nice
that,
and
but I just
cold,
heard
but it doesn't matter. You just drink it, lick it. You can just get it in your body.
And so it's helped John too, your husband?
Yes,
John's
yes.
as well.
We found with him, his focus at work is so much
better,
more intense. Yes, so we get out of work a lot quicker because his focus is better during the day. Energy, mood. He comes out and he'll dance for me and make me laugh, and I can tell his ketone.
Awesome.
We tease and call it his ketone buzz, you know.
Yeah.
But in the same, he's got energy to go to the gym too. So he's lost like 40 pounds. You know, he's getting his strength built back up. So a lot of it, he sleeps
40 pounds.
much better.
That's super significant.
Yeah.
Wow. So Stacia helps run her husband's law firm because of a major barrier that they had in their life. So I kind of wanted you to share a little bit about that, if you can, because I think it's, you know, something that people don't go through every day, and it's something you continue to have to deal with, and it's really pretty amazing. So if you wanted to share a little bit about that.
Sure. So 20 years ago now, the first year my husband and I were married, he had meningitis, and he was misdiagnosed for quite some time.
The first year you were married?
First year. We hadn't even hit our first anniversary.
Wow.
And because of the misdiagnosis, he was in ICU, and they told me he was not going to make it.
Wow.
My personal outlook was, until God says it's over, it's not over. So we're going to stay positive. We're going to keep going and going.
Positive. She's an amazing person.
And thank you. And but as a result from that, we had about a 2-year recovery period. My husband and I had a date night every night after work. Before he was sick, we went to the gym together. And we went to the gym. And so we would talk about our day, and that was kind of our time. And thank goodness, it's funny how God has these little things that prep you for things that are going to come in your life that you don't know.
Like a window opening sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. So because we had been working out so much, when John got sick, he had muscle atrophy, terrible, as you can't imagine.
Yeah,
he was in the hospital for about 3 months. So I had the strength to help him. He had to learn how to walk again.
Oh, man.
You know,
So we had physical therapy?
A lot of physical therapy.
Cool. Good.
And but also as a side effect later on, he went blind. So he's
like completely blind.
He has a little bit of peripheral vision in his right eye, nothing in his left eye. His description is it's like looking through 2-ply toilet paper. So depending on lighting, shadows, things like that, he can see a little bit more or not. But he can't read, he can't drive, he can't, do any of those things. He needs his cane and all of that. So I'm lucky.
Can you imagine, like, your first year of marriage, like, and how long have you been married?
A little over 20 years now.
20 years. Like, that in and of itself, in my opinion, like, most people when things go wrong like that, like, they don't stay together these days, I think. So that is so amazing. So, yeah, tell a little more about that.
So, like I said, we both have a lot of faith. And we're both very positive. So it was, we were thankful he was still here when they said he wouldn't be. And we said, well, what do we do now? So again, it was opportunity and who do you know and how do you just get your foot into the right places to keep moving forward. And you just have to, you can't focus on what you don't have or
dwell on the negative.
Exactly. You have to go, what do we have to work with and where are we going to go and keep moving forward and just don't look back. Just keep looking forward. And that's what we've done for 20 years.
So he was an attorney already at that
Yes, he had just started his practice. So we kind of had that setback for a couple of years and then had to start a little bit all over.
Okay. So you might as well be a lawyer as well. So you do like the typing and that kind of thing for him?
I'm kind of his eyes. I am his transportation. I kind of do that. We are so lucky with technology these days. There's so many things available. So John has a computer, system that he has on his computer called JAWS, and so it actually reads to him as he types. Whatever he's typing, it reads back to him.
Okay.
If I scan documents or somebody emails him, it just reads it all to him. So because he doesn't get caught up in looking at the screen and all the things that are pop up for us, he is so much quicker and more efficient than a sighted person. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we know those of us that surf the internet and get on the email are so unproductive.
Yeah, he doesn't get distracted, and his computer talks about 500 words a minute. So people are always like, "What is that language?" And it's English, just sped up really fast. But because he's so used to hearing it, he can hear it. So he's just much quicker. He's pretty amazing. He really is. But I drive him to court and help him do all that kind of stuff.
Do you go into court with him?
I do, yes.
Wow.
I don't pass the bar, which is, up in front, unless to give him something or whatever.
Yeah. Well, John is so funny, too. He always makes you laugh. He's got a great sense of humor.
He does.
So, and both of you, too. So, that's just really amazing to me. Just doing that, and just you guys are so great. So share a little bit about, I know you've talked about staying positive, which is really good. You do strength training, which is super important for women, and especially
as we get older. It's really important that we maintain our muscle. So many other things can go wrong as we get older and we lose that strength. So you got to maintain it. You got to, stay fit for sure.
Yeah, especially with osteoporosis, because you're petite especially, it's super helpful to maintain your bone strength and keep your bones building. Because strength training is the one thing you can do to reverse. I'm not saying prevent, reverse. You can actually increase your bone density from strength training.
Yes.
So,
well, and I don't know if I learned this from you actually, maybe, but that a lot of people, they say they fell and broke their hip. Actually, they broke their hip and they fell. Is a lot of, we hear that happens, and I don't want that to be me, so.
So you've had a few injuries here and there a little bit. You've dealt with some pain. What have you done? Do you know, she has asked me for advice being a physical therapist, but how else have you used physical therapy, or you mentioned that you have other physical therapists in your family?
I do. So, I'm very stubborn. I don't like to go the doctor route. I don't like to go a pill route. I'm very preventative, which is why I love ketones, because it's a very preventative way. Though eating ketogenic and low carb is preventative. I don't want to be an older person who's talking about their doctor visits and how many pills they're taking. So anything that I can do naturally, I want to do that. So with therapists and with you, finding, using the foam roller, using tennis balls, using, different trigger points and things where you can massage, or the bands to build that strength back up and just kind of tough through it, and just, build that strength back up.
Good. Well, I'm glad
That's the way I
that
like
you focused on keeping strong. And I did give her a little bit of advice, and she actually did it.
And it worked
Yeah,
amazingly.
I'm so glad it helped, especially because you're doing this thing.
Yes.
I'm like, it's got to work, so just do it. So that's good.
I was a little nervous about that. Yeah.
What would you suggest for some moms out there that don't know how to get started? How did you know how to strength train? What got you, like maybe John did, but
John helped me a lot.
What do you say for some women that, maybe they don't know what to do or how to start? So.
Well, it's all about being a little better today, every day than we were the day before. There's so many things that you can Google now and read. Finding somebody who's got some knowledge, like I did with John, really helps having a partner that can motivate you. Some days you don't want to go and do it. You don't want to be that little bit better. You want to lay on the couch. And so having that person to say, no, come on, let's go. Or you get to be that person for someone else is really important.
You can be that for someone else.
Yes. I think for women too, I think we're very hard on ourselves. And you need to give yourself a break, right? But I think a lot has to do with our lifestyle. So first of all, how do we eat? I think diet is a really bad word these days. Diet really means the way we eat, right? Like if you're ketogenic or you're vegetarian or you're high protein, low fat, like there's all these different ways we can eat. And nowadays when people think of diet, they think of what I can't have. Instead of what I can, and this is how I eat. And so I think switching your mindset a little bit about that and finding something that works for you that you can maintain, that's doable. And then, those days you want to cheat, you want to have birthday cake with your kids, or cut yourself some slack and not stress about it. When we stress, we hold on to weight. So I think starting with a way to eat that's good for you. When we eat better, we feel better. So you're going to want to get up and move your body more. So moving around is important. And again, finding a way for you, strength training, Pilates, yoga is very big now. Whatever, something that you can maintain. I like to switch it up. We strength train like 4 days a week. And then I dance or do Pilates or something just fun for me on the other days. So
that's really good advice. I'm glad you said that. Because most people, when they try and do something, it's something they're just doing temporarily, like diet or whatever, and then they don't want to stick with it because they don't enjoy it. So why would you keep doing something if you don't enjoy it? So
right.
Having I just had birthday cake at my mom's birthday party, and we had a lot of fun eating together, and so it makes it part of the experience. And then you get back to, it's hard to get back sometimes. I'm like, okay. No, but you get back and you try and just stay focused, and that's a good point. You also said something about diet. What was it that you... Weight. Remember you said about losing weight instead of what? How did you frame that? I liked how you said that.
Okay, so I think a lot of people focus on the scale, right? And especially if you're doing strength training, like recently I was like, oh my gosh, I gained some weight, but my husband's like, but you've really been lifting, so you've really gone up in your weight. So
how did your clothes fit though?
Right. So my clothes feel good, and that's more important, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, when we focus on the scale, again, we're stressing out, we're focusing on the wrong things. So taking pictures is important. Put on a t-shirt, and a couple weeks later, after you've made some lifestyle changes, and they don't even have to be that big, just that you're instead of driving to the mailbox, that you walk to the mailbox, that you it can be simple. Take some stairs, cut back on the carbs so you don't have so much sugar in your diet. Sugar is more addictive than cocaine, they say, and most of our foods nowadays have sugar. It turns to sugar, breads, pasta, all that turns to sugar. So, just making those little changes and then trying that shirt on a couple weeks later and taking a picture of yourself and seeing how it fits. I mean, if my clothes fit, then I'm okay. When my clothes start to not fit, then I'm like, oops,
something's wrong.
I don't like that.
Good.
So use some happy measures instead of that number. It's not, because it's not a really good true indicator.
That's great. So what's your next plan? Are you going to keep doing this for a long time? Like, what's your future plan? Like a goal or two that you might be wanting to do that you're...
Well, my long-term goal is, I hopefully will do Prove It Forever, because it makes my heart so happy to be able to help somebody else feel better the way I felt better. And it was life-changing for me. My husband and I used to not be able to make plans because of how tired I was. So now he'll say, hey, in 2 weeks, so-and-so wants to go to dinner. And I'm like, let's do it. Like, I know I'm going to feel good. So it's huge. It was huge for me. So I love to be able to help other people like that. So if I can help one person a day, I mean, more would be great, right? But my goal, like, it's about being better. So at least one person a day. But hopefully Prove It is an international business. So I hope to have a global business at some point so that I can, I have a new grandbaby and she's in Portland. So she just turned 4 months old. So I'd love to have an apartment there so I can travel. And then my husband and I love the beach.
These guys travel like a lot. They go to the beach a lot.
We do. It's my favorite thing to do is to travel.
Mexico.
So we don't buy a lot of stuff. We take trips. Make memories. I mean, we don't know how long we get on this earth. So I want to make the most of every day I get. So
that's so awesome. Yeah, she has great pictures. I always like seeing what you do. I'm like, oh man, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much. So, people, if you want to get a hold of Stacia, look into the ketones with Prove It. How do they get a hold of you?
They can go to my website. So it's Stacia, and my name is spelled very odd.
Explain it.
Yeah. Stacia, like the CIA.
Stacia.
Dot experience keto.com.
Okay.
And they can get a hold of me there. And they can also look at ketones and all that kind of great stuff. But they can get in contact with me.
Stacia at
Stacia dot.
Oh, Stacia period or Stacia dot.
Experience keto.
Experienceketo.com. Oh, so no at anything. Okay, Stacia dot experienceketo with a KETO.com.
Yes.
Cool. So they can get some stuff.
Yeah.
And I will be getting. I've tried them, but I need to try them more often, and I want my husband to try them too. So, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being on. I hope you look for her at the Texan Games, and look and see
next Thursday.
Next Thursday is the next game.
Thursday night, yeah.
Okay, what time?
7:30.
7:30. Who are we playing?
The Dolphins.
Oh, the Dolphins. Okay,
big game.
Look for her out there. She's just a great role model and just a great person to know. I hope any of you want to get to know her. She will just make you excited and happy no matter what, and answer a lot of questions if you have any questions, especially about those ketones. So I hope that you look her up and get some ketones and get started to be fit. And I'm so glad you came onto our show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we are excited for next week's guest, and so I want you to make sure and tune in next Wednesday. We should have everything ready to go, being live next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So the Barriers and Breakthroughs show will continue every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And next week's guest will be Tia Zonich, and she is she's a tennis player, but she plays pickleball. That's something that you would like to do. We should play that together sometime. Have you played it?
No, but I would do it.
Super fun, pickleball. Yeah, because you could do it. So she's tough. And so tune in for next week. But I'm glad you joined us today to listen to Stacia Powell. If any of you want to have a breakthrough session for any kind of pain problem that you have, I would love to help you. You can go to lift2live.com, schedule a breakthrough session, and we can help you get stronger and fix your pain. So look forward to seeing you next week at the Barriers and Breakthroughs show. And so far, good night.
Good night.